Hey guys, welcome back to DC Extra. My name is Chris, and today we're going to be taking a look at episode 7 of Naomi. As always, before we get into this breakdown, I'd like to give a spoiler warning for any of the events that took place within this episode and in all the previous ones. As the last few episodes have, this one starts off with a recap, and in this recap we see what happened in the very end of the last episode, that being Zumbado coming to rescue Naomi from Star Labs. And this episode picks up right from there, with Naomi regaining consciousness at Star Labs after she fainted. We see Zumbado fighting some of the guards at Star Labs, and trying to protect herself, Naomi tries to use her powers, but fails to do so as the Starlab building dampens their powers. We also learn that Dr. Bell was draining Naomi's powers in order to repurpose them, and we also learn what for specifically later on. Naomi asks Zumbado why he is helping her and why he hates her, to which he answers he doesn't hate her, and he also says that Naomi is not ready for the truth. But of course, Naomi being persistent, she says she can handle it. In response, Zumbado agrees to tell Naomi the truth, and we see Zumbado using a power that he calls mental teleportation to show Naomi one of his memories. We see one of Zumbado's memories from Earth 29, for the lack of a better phrase, before everything turns to shit. Naomi also asks why Akira said that Zumbado ruined their planet. He denies this, and we'll learn a bit more on that later on. The power to the building comes back, and they need to escape through some exhaust shaft, although they only have about 30 minutes to escape before it becomes toxic, killing them. Annabelle goes to Naomi's house to see her, but after her parents tell her that she went to go out with Annabelle, she knows that something's up. We then see another one of Zumbado's memories, and we see a meteor shower of purple light before Zumbado starts falling to the ground. But just before he hits the ground, he starts floating, and this is the first time he realized he had powers. In a bar, Zumbado and Akira meet for the first time, and we see Akira's powers, that being the ability to control fire. Akira thinks that the people who got powers on their Earth were given them by some cosmic powers. Naomi and Zumbado get caught out in the exhaust shafts, almost dying, but they end up getting out safely. Annabelle goes to Dee's shop looking for Naomi, but Dee catches her out on a lie after Annabelle lies about looking for Naomi there. She tells him about Naomi's run-in with Zumbado, and Dee wants to go find her after that. We again go back to Earth 29, where Akira and Zumbado help save some people on their Earth. We also learn here that their planet was slowly dying. We also see another one of Naomi's powers got to do with Zumbado's power of the mental teleportation. As she is experiencing his memories through this power, she ends up manifesting, some of the leaves falling from a tree on his Earth. We also learn that Zumbado and the 29 were being hunted by someone named Brutus, and this is actually a character from the comics. First appeared in Justice League 59, I believe it was. I have a picture up on screen now, as you can see. This is what he looks like, and in the photo he's fighting Black Adam, but I don't think that will happen in this series. But hopefully we'll get to see him in some way, shape or form, and probably fighting Naomi, Dee, and possibly even Zumbado as well. Naomi used enhanced hearing and X-ray powers to help her and Zumbado escape. We learned that Akira thought that Zumbado betrayed her and the rest of the 29, compromising their location by giving up the disc on their home Earth, and as such she betrays Zumbado, serving him up to Brutus. Annabelle and Dee then break into Zumbado's dealership looking for Naomi, and they realize while they're there that she went to see Dr. Bell. Zumbado says that he had to escape his homeworld to be safe, and that's why he ended up coming to the Earth they are currently on. We hear the alarms ringing at Star Labs, and Zumbado ends up sacrificing himself to let Naomi escape. But, of course, Naomi couldn't have this, so she turns back to go help him. We learn here that Dr. Bell wants to use their powers to access other worlds in the multiverse. We see Naomi rescue Zumbado using her powers, but before she can do that, Dr. Bell activates her machine, using it on her. But this time Naomi fights the machine and eventually destroys it, giving them enough time to escape. Dee then shows up at the last minute to pick up Naomi and Zumbado, but Zumbado doesn't end up going with them. Naomi gets home and lies to her parents about where she was, and the next day she goes to talk to Zumbado about what he told her the previous night. We find out that Brutus knew that 2 of the 29 had a child, this child being Naomi. Zumbado says that her parents were good people, indicating that he knew them. It's also heavily implied that her parents are dead. Zumbado tells Naomi that he has been watching over her for her entire life, as a promise to her parents. He also says that Brutus will send other people like the bounty hunter to go after Naomi, and also that the bounty hunter wasn't the first, indicating that Zumbado or possibly D protected her in times past. Zumbado believes that Naomi will save the world, presumably from Brutus and other people from Earth-29 that are sided with him. And that is the end of the episode. We learned a lot of new stuff about Earth-29 from this episode, and we also have set up what looks like to be the big bad in this series, Brutus. Overall, I think it was a really good episode, tied a lot of loose ends, but still set up some new storylines. Also, just before ending this video, I'd like to mention that issue 1 of season 2 of the Naomi comic has just been released recently, so if you want more Naomi content, you should go and read that. But that is it for this video, so I hope you did enjoy. If you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing for more content like this. And if you have any feedback, please leave it in the comments below. But until next time, this has been Chris, and I'll be seeing ya.